What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch video, and today we are talking about Tissot and the Tissot Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80 Silicium. And this is a new release from Tissot, a newish release or an upgraded version of the Tissot Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80. Essentially the watch that I own. I've done a few different reviews on this watch. It is one of my favorite affordable dive watches that you can get. So what they've done here, the Powermatic 80 C07811 has been fitted with a new silicon balance spring. This technology has essentially trickled down from Omega, and now it is finding its way into other Swatch Group products. And therefore, Tissot is now taking advantage of this new silicon balance spring. So there's plenty of advantages to silicon, and basically silicon is neither a metal nor a non-metal. It's called metalloid. It is resistant to magnetic interferences as well as changes in temperatures. So that really makes it ideal for divers' watches and really any sort of tool watch. It also improves stability, performance, and accuracy. Again, really good things. And also it maintains its original form indefinitely. So it never requires any lubrication, which is great for servicing, and it will last long. So what changes besides this new balance spring? Well, the words Silicium have been printed on the dial above the date aperture at 6 o'clock, as well as silicon balance spring has been engraved on the rotor. The date wheel at 6 o'clock is no longer color matched, which I kind of find a little bit weird. The current version, or the version that I have, which is no longer the current version, I guess, and has been discontinued, has a colored match date wheel. Right now, they've only released this new version in the blue dial, and that's what the blue-black dial, and that's the one that I have. And they would come with a color-matched date wheel, which was sort of a bluish-black. Now it's coming in white. And it's essentially making a complete indice at 6 o'clock. So there's a half indice at 6 o'clock, and then the date aperture. However, the date aperture window is circular, so it doesn't look as good, I think, as the color match date wheel, in my opinion. So I'm not sure what really or why they did that. There is a new strap that is coming on the watch. Now the watch is getting a canvas strap. It's a fabric strap with a really nice butterfly double push button deployant clasp. And in my opinion, I think that's a really good thing. The rubber strap that came on the Tissot Seastar 1000 across all lines, all colors, excuse me, I didn't think was that great. It had a big T on the face of the strap, and I never really thought it was that elegant. It does fit to the case, so it is form-fitting to the case, and so is this new canvas strap, so that is also nice, although I don't think that really is necessary, but I think this gives you a little bit more options, and it looks a little bit better than the rubber strap, in my opinion. So that's pretty cool. Finally, they also changed the bezel insert. However, they only changed the color to a lighter blue from the previous dark black. Unfortunately, it looks like the bezel is still very, very shiny ceramic, which basically looks very similar. Also, the markings on the bezels, so the numbers and the markers, look like they are still in that very shiny silver that essentially just washes out with light. I'm not very happy about that. I wish that they addressed that issue. I think that is probably throughout all the videos that I've uploaded, all the comments most people complain about that bezel insert. It kind of looks a little bit toy-like. It looks a little bit cheap. And I think that they should have really, if they were looking at this watch, they should have really thought long and hard, at least about possibly upgrading the print on the dial so it doesn't wash out with light. I've seen videos of the watch, I've seen photos of the watch. In many of the photos on the website, it doesn't look that way, but I believe that it is a very shiny bezel, and I believe that it will wash out in light as it currently does with the black and silver bezel that is currently on the one that I own or the most recently discontinued model. So, like I said, right now they've only made these upgrades changes to the blue version, and essentially that's the one that I currently own, and they are, I guess, discontinuing that model with the black and silver dial bezel, and now that will be a blue bezel, a dark blue bezel with a blue dial. They are also offering this watch on a bracelet, and unfortunately it looks like there are virtually no changes to the bracelet. It still comes with an awful press clasp with a diver's extension. The bracelet itself is a little bit less polished, I believe. At least that's what I could tell from the photos. There's really not much information about the watch and what actual changes have happened, but these are the changes that I can observe because I own the watch. So unfortunately, like I said, the bracelet still press clasp still looks a little bit cheap. The watch still has a ceramic bezel, as I mentioned, obviously a screw down crown and case back with a see-through sapphire crystal in the back there, so you can still see that lightly decorated Powermatic 80. Still has 80 hours of power reserve, which is great. The only thing that has changed in the back is, I guess, the script that is engraved on the actual rotor itself. It's still a 300-meter water-resistant dive watch, 43 millimeters wide, 43 millimeters lug to lug, and 12.7 millimeters thick. Annoyingly, they did not change the lug width, and that, I guess, would make sense. They would take a lot more for them to change the lug width on this, but it is still an annoying 21 millimeters, so therefore it is still very hard to find any sort of straps for this, especially aftermarket. There is very limited numbers of straps. There are no bracelets that you can buy for it if you wanted to buy one. Even if you wanted to buy a shark mesh, I think I've mentioned in other videos that I was looking for a shark mesh for myself. However, there is only one shark mesh I was able to find. That one is made in Hong Kong or is being sold out of Hong Kong. It is 21 millimeters. However, I have no idea of the quality. It's actually a pretty inexpensive shark mesh. I think it was about $35, but I don't really want to get something that's super cheap and feels cheap on the watch. So I've never actually purchased it. I had thought about it a few times, but never did. So I wish that they changed that bezel insert, or at least upgraded the bezel insert, maybe by engraving the lettering and numbering on the bezel itself. Changing the finish on the bezel would have also helped, making it less glossy. However, I think that did not happen. And then the other thing I would say is the 21 millimeter lug width, very annoying. And I'm not sure why they changed that 6 o'clock date window to a non-colored match date window with a white background. So all in all, I'm happy with some of the changes, and I'm unhappy with changes that really didn't get made that were pretty obvious. I think a lot of people were complaining about, however, Tissot did not address in this upgrade. I'd like to see what they come out with in other iterations, other colorways for this watch. I think overall, again, this is an excellent. I believe they've actually lowered the price on these watches, $850 for the watch on the metal band, and it is $750 on the strap. So I believe that previously these were a little bit more expensive. I believe they were around $7.95 for the strap and $8.95 for the bracelet. I could be wrong, correct me if I am wrong, but I believe that has changed. Anyway, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of this new watch and the upgrades that they've made to it. I know a lot of people really like this watch and a lot of people really hate this watch. I am on the like side. I have obviously purchased this watch for my personal collection. I love it. But it is not unflawed. As you can see, I think there are plenty of flaws with the watch. No watch is really perfect in my mind. There's always room for improvement, and I believe there is definitely room for improvement on this watch. However, like I said, please leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is WatchChrisBlog. Also, I have a bunch of links in the description of this video to a bunch of different watches, including the current version, or the version that I have, of the Tissot Seastar 1000 Powermatic 80. Even if you do not plan on buying a watch and you are going to be using Amazon, please use the link to purchase whatever you are going to purchase. It is super helpful for the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And it definitely will help out the channel. Anyway, thank you for logging on.